Although this may seem like drunk history, we're not actually drunk.
The Fall of Communism. So, after World War II, the Soviet Union was kind of like, okay, we don't want people to invade us again, because last time that happened, it didn't work out very well.
I mean, we did all right, but, like, we didn't die, but we got...
Well, they did die.
Well,
some people died.
Some people died, but the country itself didn't die.
Some people were harmed in the making of this war.
They lost a lot of people. They almost lost the war. And they just like, you know what? We're done. We don't want any more, like, people invading us, so we're just going to take the eastern part of Europe and just, you know, take it for ourselves.
So that's how the Iron Curtain was made. The Iron Curtain split West Europe from East Europe. Eastern Europe was all communist. Western Europe was mostly democratic.
So, then we've got conflicts growing between the United States of America and the Soviet Union.
Because they were on the same side when they won World War II, so they were kind of buddies, but
they were
on the same side. So they were allies, but not really buddies. And so President Truman was like to Congress, all right, Turkey and Greece are near the Soviet Union, and they're not communist. So if we don't do something, the Soviet Union might get them. So then this whole thing, when he was asking for support, was called the Truman Doctrine. And the Soviet Union was kind of like, what is he doing? What?
And also, the United States, France, and Great Britain is like, you know what? Germany suffered enough. So Western Germany and Eastern Germany, it's like, let's just put them together, you know. Germany suffered enough. It's like, I know they've done some really bad things, but they're probably going to be a democracy like us, and then, you know, we can be friends again. But the USSR is like, you know what? No.
So then the Soviet Union held East Britain hostage by cutting off highway, water, and railroad traffic. And then this was the start of the Cold War, basically. 1985, there's a new General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union.
And I will not even try to pronounce his name, but I will. Mikhail Gorbachev.
Mikhail Gorbachev.
Whoa. So, they were facing some issues, and, you know,
economic issues. They weren't doing so well. And so Gorbachev wanted to change the economy so it was better, because he worked on a state farm and his grandfathers were arrested during Stalin's purges. So he knew the flaws in the Soviet Union's economy, so he decided to make some reforms. Perestroika is reforming the economy, so it gave people the right to open small businesses, and he gave local managers more power over their farms or factories.
The problem with this is like, wait, this isn't communism anymore.
Gorbachev was like, no, it's still communism, but with a better economy. So it's all good.
It's all good.
Not really.
So you think these republics got reformed, so it's like, so Gorbachev's Communist Party is like, okay, they'll be happy now. But instead, for all this oppression they caused, it's like, hey, now's our time to break away. And so Lithuania declared independence in 1990, starting the chain that would eventually lead to the fall of the Soviet Union.
So Gorbachev, after Lithuania declared independence, cut off the economy from Lithuania, trying to force them back into the Soviet Union. And he was kind of hesitant. He didn't want to do anything else. But he ended up sending Soviet soldiers to attack the capital of Lithuania in January 1991.
So the people looked to Boris Yeltsin to help.
Boris Yeltsin
criticized trouble in Lithuania and the slow pace of reforms, which also gained him more popularity.
Yeltsin was like, Gorbachev, what are you doing with Lithuania? So much is going on. This is such bad leadership. the reforms aren't working. I could be a better leader than this.
Obviously.
Foreshadowing? We'll see.
Conservatives who opposed reform and supported traditional ideas, also
They're
known hardliners.
The August Coup, it was organized by the Hardliners, so it would prevent the signing of a Union treaty on August 20th that would have given more power to the republics. So on August 18th, 1991, 2 days before the treaty was signed,
Hardliners went to Gorbachev at his vacation home and demanded his resignation as president.
yeah, and they were like,
Nice. President.
you can't be in charge anymore, so we're kicking you out. And he's like, no. So then they held him prisoner.
Soviet tanks went to Moscow, but the people of the Soviet Union were no longer afraid of the Communist Party. Basically, the Communist Party could take control because they created fear in people's eyes with the secret police and all their methods and enforcement and all that.
Yeah, but
totalitarian traits. But now it's like people's like, you know what? We're just sick of you guys. You're just a bunch of old politicians.
We're done.
We're done.
We're done with you. So then, protesters against the Communist Party gathered at the Russian Parliament building where Boris Yeltsin had his office. So on August 19th, around midday, Yeltsin came out of his office, stood on top of a tank, and declared to everyone, all right, the Communist Party is now illegal, and with the citizens of Russia, they're going to return the country back to normal.
The hardliners ordered the troops to attack the Parliament building because, as you expect, they're in charge and they're supposed to be in charge. Like, we're not going to lose our power. But the soldiers like, you know what? No, we don't really care for you anymore. Gorbachev returned to Moscow to resign as the General Secretary of the Communist Party, and the Soviet Union Parliament voted to stop all activities of the party.
And then Estonia and Latvia, the other Baltic states, also declared independence, and all the other republics in the Soviet Union continued to declare independence. And then Yeltsin made the Commonwealth of Independent States a federation of former Soviet territories.
On Christmas 1991, Gorbachev resigned as the president of the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union was no more, which is the official fall of communism.